different way to play it, better learn it now. My brody told me time to shine, boy. Shine, boy. I got these other two on the album. I do this here for me and my all in. What you really think I'm on my grind for?
I want to hear this in the way. Chris knows, like, anytime I listen to music, I gotta hear it in the car. Like, I imagine this boy, I used to be blasting it and riding my gun.
That's how I mean that turnpike.
Shine, boy. I got time, boy. For me and mine.
Good looking.
You look get shot. I've been playing. I've been burning people river planes.
Yeah, I've been looking at it.
Oh man. Ew, it's good. We back, but yeah, I mean, it's up to Money Carsin and I forgot your name, my fault. It's all good. You've been quiet.
Yeah.
You've been quiet the first.
Yeah, he stay low.
It's all about him, so I just kind of come into myself, and I'm like that. I've always been like that.
Nah, it's good.
We all.
But definitely in this conversation, I know you got something to talk about here, so you definitely gonna be in this.
I mean, I'm guessing they're gonna stick around a little bit because we about to get into some football talk.
Absolute.
Some football talk.
That was to be his specialty. He got that.
Yeah.
Now you can scoot up on the inside.
You know what? Let's even start off with that real quick. You know, it's football. We're gonna be talking sports. My man right here has some JUCO experience. You know, I know you've been through the whole process a little bit of trying to actually get into these D1 schools, trying to get your whole lane going and everything. So, you know, we always talk about that we want to actually give people the behind the scenes as much as we do what they see on TV. Right. Because a lot of times people don't understand that when you get out of high school, you know, it's not just every top prospect that goes into the D2 schools and everything. Right. There's about maybe 15 guys on the actual team sometimes that can actually go to college, go to school and actually play ball in school, but at the same time, sometimes it doesn't happen just off of things, whether it be your family situation, your work situation, whether it be the scouts that come in and people that are telling you, oh, I can get you here or I can't get you here, or you know, things like that. Then they never fall through, or whatever. You make a move to a JUCO school and then all of a sudden, you know, the people that said they might have been able to bring you somewhere closer, like a Cal University, something like that, couldn't do that. So just talk about, you know, your whole process a little bit, whatever you want to get to the people and let them know.
I mean, the process really wasn't. I can't say I didn't go through.
Hey, first reintroduce yourself too. Reintroduce, because you were quiet today. Reintroduce yourself to the people.
Alright, well, I go by Prince Beats. I make beats with my partner Stack. Shout out Stack with the production. Come outside there, they know Woodbury mainly. Around the Woodbury, Westwood, Denver area. But written name Brandon.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I go off of that. I'm cool with that too. I go through life. It's quiet half the time anyway. Other people talk. Like I said, you want my input, I'll get it to you.
Look, they say at the end of the day, you know, a wise man has no words most times.
Exactly.
You know? So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Keep a keen eye on that. But I can say that my experience, for one, you know, when people watch, you know, that season that the outbreak for JUCO is Last Chance U on Netflix, and everybody watches it. You love football, you watch football. You know, because you want to get that input on, you know. You see these guys come from bad neighborhoods or bad circumstances, like you said earlier, and you want to know, well, you know something good going to come out of that because they want to make a season and didn't. That's not always the case. You know, not all JUCOs have dorms. I didn't. If they did, I didn't know anything about it. I went out there in college. I played for Louis McDonald's. Lived in Oakland with my uncle. Every day I go to school. Every day I go to his house. That was the end for me. The road was just weird. You know what I mean? Like, you know, everybody has that dream of just playing sport in high school, being the man, going to college, being the man, and then going to the NBA. Some people have to go off that route. Mine was different on the simple fact that, you know, I only played half the season, if you will, of senior high school football, then because my brother passed away. If your mental state isn't there, you're going to get hurt. They'll tell you right off the rip. It's 90% mental. The game is 90% mental. So if it's not there, you're going to get hurt.
I mean, we see it a lot now. A lot of NFL players are getting mad at these helmet rule changes and how that's affecting the whole game. And I know me and you both played in the era where that stuff was still in play. I mean, you were taught how to actually form tackle and stuff like that in high school,
Right.
and you did that and you practiced that. But when you was out there on the field, I mean, you was getting hit
out the window.
like out the window.
Out
You
the
was getting
window.
hit, you know.
Out the window, man.
And now you're asking these players to actually like think about it. Think about it every single time, you know. So just like what you said, you're gonna get hurt if you're thinking you're not going for 100.
All right. I mean, like you see, you go onto the field, you know, you go in practice, you know, helmet up, you know, chest up, tackle. Or when you get that right angle, you get that angle around, you always put that shoulder head into the contact. That's a blow up to you. That's what you really want. Everybody wants to see the opposing guy leave his feet.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to be the guy who did it. You don't care how you do it, but you want to do it.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, after I got done my senior year, like I'm not a quitter. I don't like doing it. So I ran to my boy Andrew. Shout out to Andrew, the boxing MMA coach. He played up in Monmouth, and he was trying to get me together, you know, so that I could go perform at a higher level. So fast forwarding, I finally found a school out there in Cali. I went out there, checked it out, you know, played a little running back, and it's just a whole different atmosphere. You really see who's there because they have to be there, or who's there because something put them there. It's a mental state, man. And then on top of that, you see a different breed of people out there when it comes like in sports. Like you got Jersey ballers, you got down south ballers, you got Midwest ballers, you got the West Coast. It's just a whole different world. And I learned that early. Like you don't realize how serious some of these guys take the sport until you step into their world.
Yeah.
And I thought I was stepping into a world because, you know, the drive, the hunger, and then you're like, no, that's every day. That's them every day. So then you think about it, you look back, like, if this is how they lived every day, this is where they're at, so what's going to happen to me? You know what I'm saying? Like, they grew up doing this, you know, Pop Warner, like, I know y'all seen, like, Pop Warner kids down south playing in Florida. You got Snoop got a league that he also got a Texas league that kids play. They travel all over the south and west coast, and they grew up like that. And look where you're at.
Yep.
Like, what went wrong? Or what happened? And it could be grades, it could be, you know, politics, it could be family, it could be like before, like I had to pay my own way in that school. You don't get scholarships that you go. I had to pay my way in. Like out of state fees. So you're talking like
that's a whole nother
so
right.
I think my first tuition was close to like $6,000.
That's
$6,000.
You almost like a straight D1 school almost right there.
Yeah, I had to fly out there myself. Well, my parents went out there with me. Fly out there myself, pay that way, pay for the books, pay the tuition. So then, now you're looking at it like this. All right, so this is a JUCO. I got to survive through that. And then when you go from here, you hope that you can get to a D1, D2 under a scholarship, and they'll pay you. If you don't, then you're stuck down there. So that's another situation that gets people stuck in that world. But it's not always bad that way. I mean, like everybody knows that somebody's going to show up there to see who this person is. They ask you, what about this guy? You know, we need.
And that's kind of like what the Last Chance U is about too, because they highlight those.
Yeah.
Right? You know, you're getting those players that people do see, even if they are stuck in the JUCO system.
Yeah.
They see them, and then you get that opportunity to be able to go into the draft process and see if you actually make your way.
Yeah.
You know, so you're right. It's not always bad down there. It's not at all. It's an opportunity.
Yeah.
But then, like you're saying, there's a struggle behind it.
It's
like
struggle.
because everyone always just sees, oh, you got drafted. You went to Clemson. You were the number one prospect that got drafted. You went there. Now you're in the first round draft of the NFL. Now you're going out to the NFL. And they see the glitz and the glamour, and they see the shoes and the suits that you wearing when you're getting drafted and all that. And then you see all those they draft about 700 and something people, right? And then all of a sudden, what happens to the other people that are also going in, because those are the other players that are coming in.
Yeah.
You know, so you never hear about it.
And you know what? It's a shame because it's circumstances like Corey Clement.
Yeah.
Like you know, he had a couple of injuries related to his college career.
Undrafted, right?
Went undrafted, but the sad part is they knew they wanted him.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knew, like, you know, he's on the board, but if this guy here, I'm gonna take him.
Right.
I want him, but if this guy here, I'm gonna take him. All right, so now we got to sit back. Like, all right, draft's over. How long did it take for him to get picked up?
Yo, and that's
I don't think it took a day.
I don't even remember how long it was, but it didn't take that long.
I don't think it took a day. After the draft was over, I think it was within hours he was picked up by the Eagles. They wanted him. They wanted him. It just lets you can get he's here. Well, here it's close.
Because in the draft, it's a process where you're like, okay, so I have all these people on our board.
Yeah.
Do we know if such and such, such and such, and such and such might get undrafted?
Right.
Because if you're thinking about that as the actual owner or the coach or whatever, you're like, if they don't get drafted, and this is no slight to the player, but if they don't get drafted, we might be able to pick them
you know what?
easily without even having to exactly. And it's almost like as an undrafted player, that's why every undrafted player has a chip on their shoulder because they know that. They know that. I'm sure they do.
I mean, look at his productivity throughout his rookie season. He wasn't just on the team.
He made plays.
He contributed.
All you gotta do is look at that NFC Championship game and look at that Super Bowl. That man made plays, and then look at the season,
so
like you said.
Like, if you don't think the coaches and GM talk to each other throughout the process, like, hey, you gotta think about picking him up. Like, we want to, but if this guy's here, all right, well, they talk. They really do talk. Like, I don't know him so well. My brother played him a couple times in high school.
Yeah.
I did have a family member, a friend of a family member, and a family member to my other cousins who did play like longevity in NFL. He played for the Minnesota Vikings first, named Brian McKinney.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, because I'm
my
football
family's fan.
Oh my God, he's a football fan.
I'm sorry.
You kind of see like the in and outs, like I don't talk to him much, if at all, but I do talk to the family members.
Absolutely.
Like, and you do see the ins and outs. You do hear the ins and outs of how the game goes, and it's a business.
Yeah.
From every level of the game, it's a business.
Yeah.
It's political and it's a business. So especially as we progress into the game and things start to get enhanced with social media and and advertisements.
I never realized how political it actually is until I saw the movie Draft Day.
Oh, yeah, we saw that and how that goes. Yeah, that was a good representation.
Down,
it was.
Every little thing that happened, we split $50 in the back of the playbook, and he was the only one. I'm like, yo, they probably really do this stuff.
And see, and this goes into our topic that we wanted to talk about for the first little bit of this whole sports section. It's about the most pressure, the players that have the most pressure.
Oh, no, that was NBA players.
But I mean, we can still do it for football players too, because I mean, it's coming up.
Well, then we're gonna do it. We gotta do it right, because we was about to take another break.
Well, I'm just speaking it. I'm just speaking it right now.
I just don't want to get into a good part.
And then we gotta hold it. And then I know. But it's so true because all of that, everything that goes on behind the scenes, whether it be NBA, whether it be football, you're having all that stuff is just pressure for the player. Because now it's like the player knows that, all right, so they might trade me somewhere. If I don't perform this way, then I might get cut. If I don't do this, then I might not get the deal that I need to get. I mean, OBJ just got paid, but he knows if he wasn't injured, if he didn't have those injuries, it might not have been so hard for him to get paid. And then if he didn't do the off the field stuff, maybe it wouldn't have been either. But you always have that in the back of your mind, even if you say that you don't, it's back there because you know that's your money.
When you say off the field stuff, you mean like when he punched the goal or whatever?
Well, no, I mean...
You mean like when he popped up out the water singing sexual hell with that?
No, I wasn't even saying that. Did you see the video with old boy in the hotel room with the weed and the girl smoking coke?
No, I ain't see that.
Yeah.
I don't watch his videos no more ever since I seen him walking.
And mind you, oh God. And mind you, like when I saw it, the only thing I thought about was just this. I was like, okay, so he had a good night. Like I don't even I wasn't even so pissed off. I was like, okay, so he had a good night. But then I realized that the fact that went out, you could have a good night, but then the woman's the one taking the video.
Yeah.
So you got to be very careful about who you having that good night with, because what's your name? You OBJ, you Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah.
You can't just think that everybody has your best interest in mind. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who's ever said that to him in his life. So it said that anything about him. You always have to have the best interest of yourself in mind when you're in that type of position. So when you think about that kind of stuff, if I'm an owner, and the owner's looking like, well, I'm about to pay this man millions of dollars. What do I really have? Do I have an athlete who's completely invested in my program? or do I have somebody that just wants to live the limelight and then also be in the program as well? So it's a difference, you know.
I don't know what Kenny Powers you're gonna get.
Yeah.
I mean, I can throw that theory out. I mean, I know y'all were going to go back on that, but I can throw that theory out.
No, go ahead.
So, I mean, we were talking about Odell getting that 5-year extension.
Yeah, hold on. Let's play the joint, then we're gonna come back. Because we're gonna get deep in that Odell section. I know that's gonna be, and we can be here we gotta play, you know, it's family, New Capone. We gotta play that joint.
Absolutely.
We gotta play Merc, you know, family. So we gonna play that joint, and we kind of come back and we talk about that OBJ money.
Give it to him.
All right, man.
He got big kicked out, boy.
Oh, man.
65 guaranteed.
Make me want to lose weight, get on the field.
I've been places you ain't never been, seen things you ain't never seen, spend money like a silver fan, she wanna get with a winning team, but they don't do it like I do it, you know it ain't nothing to it, talk to you in the club till they close out, everybody know home get a hoes out, the streets show me love like J's on, I thought it was for the little niggas running with their J's on. Know to keep the K warm, might find them knocking at your door like the Avon. And hit you through the peephole. Murder was the case form. Known to spit a razor out my gold grill. Gucci low song, looking like phone mill. Nothing on the side block like you roadkill. I get the right plug, I might spend a whole deal. Fat ass, she a star tender. I get the bottles on her arm, I'm a large spender. My section full of dimes and some low dots. We taking shots to the face like it's Botox. She wanna make a movie, try to show box. Fuck her sweet, I gave her back shots in a good spot. I've been places you ain't never been, seen things you ain't never seen, spend money like a silver fan, she wanna get with a winning team, but they don't do it like I do it. You know it ain't nothing to it. We in the club till they close out. Everybody know that, bring the hoes out.
You know I show no love like a heart attack. That hardcore cheat shit, nigga, we started that. LA, New York. Slam dunk shooting long threes from half cut. Miss me with that lollygag. Rather be judged by 12 nigga or carried in a body bag. Capone diligent nigga, just do the math. Mathematics poetic nigga when you see the flash. I'm that nigga Daz, I'm Mr. Dillinger. Iller than any nigga you bringing, yeah, we killing them. Capone, when we come back with the homies, black time is over when they see corrupt and naughty nigga. Hurry up because you're running out of time. Blowing your shit up, nigga, just like a Vietnam landmine. Nobody move, nobody get hurt. Stuck in the dirt, what we see it till you get murdered.
I've been places you ain't never been, seen things you ain't never seen, spend money like a silver fan, she wanna get with a winning team, but they don't do it like I do it. You know it ain't nothing to it. We in the club till they close out. Everybody know that, bring the hoes out. I've been places you ain't never been, seen things you ain't never seen, spend money like a silver fan, she wanna get with a winning team, but they don't do it like I do it. You know it ain't nothing to it. We in the club till they close out. Everybody know gon' bring the hoes out.
Capone and diligent, nigga. You know what it is, nigga. East Coast, West Coast, gangsta shit, nigga. What up, Capone? Oh yeah. Shit, nigga. Murder.
We back. Going any further, like, shout out to Jers. Like, I actually miss her.
I know she was feeling kind of under the weather today, so she couldn't be here and everything. But
I mean,
definitely, it's a little it's an added little piece. It definitely is.
Like me, I got that little brother sister thing going where we go back and forth, and like without her here and Merc working, it's just like that.
Oh, you should show them the meme.
I mean, no disrespect to them, but that's like, you know what I mean? It's like a little sister running around, and y'all arguing back and forth like. taking shots.
Yeah.
Taking shots.
Yo, we did this on the first time we got the camera.
Yeah.
We had it with this. We found this scene, and when we were looking through the video, it's her in the back, and she's got this slice of pizza, and we're all talking sports. Everyone on the table talking sports, and it was at this one moment where everyone's heated, and she's just in the back taking this big old bite of pizza. It's the funniest shit. I swear, it's the funniest thing ever. Yo, yeah, it's a definitely added miss. It's a miss. It's a miss. But now.